Hey guys, so in this week's DIY tutorial I decided to do a tablescape for my dining room table. Prior to this I didn't have anything on my dining room table except for, you know, the stuff that gathers on your dining room table. So I've kind of been trying to do this kind of revamp of my living room slash just main living area because it's pretty open concept in my house. I decided to start with doing a tablescape on my dining room table. We have a visitor. So the actual dining room table is a Craigslist find that I painted over, and I painted the chairs and reupholstered the cushions. But before I show you the tablescape, I wanted to go over the pieces that I got for it. Starting with, I guess, Home Goods slash TJ Maxx. I found these really cute candle holders. I wasn't sure what I was going in for when I went in there, but these caught my eye. Then I got these little sea glass jars, canisters. I might put some flowers in them. Then I went to IKEA and I picked up these Klort. I'm totally gonna be butchering this and I'm sorry. I don't speak Swedish, but they're kind of like tumbled glass shards and they're really sparkly. The candles don't fit exactly into the candle holes. I couldn't find one in my limited time frame that would fit. Probably find them later, but they fit around it, so I was just going to use this to kind of secure the candle in the holder and keep it from wobbling. I also got 6 of these placemats. They don't have a name on them, but they're kind of like a wicker wood. I have no idea actually what they're made out of, but so let's get started with the DIY portion of the tablescape. So I wanted to have a runner down the center, and so I had this material that I was going to use for a different project, but it kind of worked out and it was really coastal looking and I really liked it, so I ended up making a runner out of that. And I did, I think it's called a miter edge, so it kind of looks professional. I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there and say that I am not a professional at this, and they're not perfect, but that's okay because you can't really tell. So in my crazed state, I decided to make my own cloth napkins, and if you love sewing and you're really good at it and you love nothing more than sewing, make your own cloth napkins. I don't know how much they are, but I probably would buy them next time instead of making them, because you have to make 6 of them. It's not like just a one-time deal like the table runner. But I just had some spare material, and I also did the mitered edge. I think it's mitered. I'll edit it in if it's not mitered. I know that you can go and you can buy napkin rings, and that would probably be easier, but I decided just to make my own really quick. They actually didn't take that much time at all, and I think they turned out really cute. Oops, let's do it the right way. Isn't that cute? I'm really happy with how that turned out. And now I'll just show you how I created the tablescape with all that stuff. Okay, so starting out, I started by cutting out my napkins. I wanted them to be 18 by 18, so I cut them out with 2.5 inches of seam allowance. So basically 1.25 on each side. Then once I had them cut out, I made a 1/4 inch line along every edge, and it doesn't show it in the video, but after I made the 1/4 inch line, I then made a 1/2 inch line up from the other line, as you can see there. And then ironing it, I flipped it over so the lines were facing the ironing board, and I folded it till I could see the edge or the line on the edge, and then I ironed it down, flipped it over to the second line, and ironed that down, and that's how you get your hem. And I just repeated the process on the napkins as well as the table runner. Now the next part, I don't know what happened to the footage, but it's actually the miter crease. I'll link a tutorial down below that actually explains it way better than I can, but pretty much you fold over the corner and make a line, and then you fold the line in half and pin it down and then sew along that line. I know it's confusing, but if you click the link in the tutorial for Celebrate Creativity, she does an amazing job at explaining exactly how to do it. And then I just repeated the process with the napkins on every corner, on 6 napkins and 1 table runner. So it took a little bit of time, but I think it was worth it. It makes the edges way more professional looking, and just nice clean edges are always good, right? So again, you just sew along that line right there. And then you trim off the excess and flip it inside out. And then I just hemmed up the rest of the edges. So for the napkin holders, I took a paper towel roll and did 1-inch lines and then cut it out. Then I took my twine and hot glued it. Just be careful, I burned the crap out of my finger. So you just hot glue around, just being careful to watch your fingers. Be smarter than me, please. So once you get to the end, you're gonna want to snip off and then tuck the inside or the end into the inside and hot glue it down. And then you're gonna want to take a shell of your choice, glue the edges down, and stick it onto the front. And now we get to the fun part, the reveal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I will see you next week as always. Have a great week, guys.